Are you ready to learn the secret behind how some real estate agents skyrocket their success? It all starts with one cool little tool called personal branding. Let's get into it. Personal branding is very simple to understand, but very difficult to actually achieve because, well, it kind of goes on forever. It really never ends. It is a constant journey to build the brand and then maintain your brand. So here it is, plain and simple. What we are trying to do here is build a personality for you, who you are, be authentic. And by you being authentic and telling your stories and giving your information that you know to be true based on your experiences, you're going to attract the right audience. And with any luck, you're going to repel the wrong audience. And that's something that a lot of people don't like. They want to cast a wide net to everybody instead of casting a very narrow net to a few people, thinking that, well, if I cast a bigger net to everybody, I'll get more business. But the problem there is when you're doing that on a personal brand level, you're not differentiating yourself at all. You're not standing out above the crowd. So we need to create an authentic version of you that gets portrayed everywhere. And this is very easy to do. Just be you. Use your experiences. Use your talents, your values, your reputation to paint this picture of exactly who you are so that you can give out your value proposition to other people. So what else does personal branding help with? Well, first off, it helps you differentiate yourself from your competition. If everybody's an option, then everybody's an option. But if you can differentiate yourself and show why you are the option for the right avatar, for the right person, then they're more likely to use you than the handful of other agents that they might meet along the way, along their home buying or home selling journey. The other thing that personal branding does very well is it helps build trust and credibility because you are constantly staying in front of your ideal audience with the message that resonates with them because it resonates with you and you guys have aligned values. Another thing it really helps with is building relationships much quicker. When you're throwing out to the world what your values are and what you enjoy doing and how you enjoy doing things and it resonates with other people, they are more likely to be receptive to a conversation which will help you build those relationships in the future. And probably one of the most important things that it does is it helps you attract the right clients and repels the wrong clients. I know I touched on this briefly a second ago, but this is really, really important. People that aren't building brand don't understand this. They think that if I just gather as many people as I can to get into my little circle, that I'll have this big pool to choose from, and I've got to have more business, right? But what ultimately happens is those same people are in this person's pool and this person's pool and this person's pool. And now you've got 15 agents competing for the same 100 buyers, let's say, versus going very hyper niche, repelling the people that aren't going to mix very well with your personality and attracting the ones that do. Now you've got 100 people to yourself that nobody else is picking out of. This gives you a much higher chance to not only sell more property, but also provide a better customer experience because they're your people. We've all had that deal where they just didn't feel like our people. They didn't think like we did. They didn't act like we did. We were trying to move them through the process and everything was a little bit of a struggle. Most of the time, that is purely a personality conflict, and it's something that we can learn to help with a little bit, but it does make it easier when it's our people. And the last thing that building a personal brand does very well is it helps build long-term success because as you bring them into your ecosystem and you provide everything that you're providing in your personal brand, the relevant content, the information, just the entertainment, really anything that you're bringing to the table, it's going to keep them in that circle and help you get referral and repeat business and also help your people bring in new people into your little circle, right? Because when they know somebody who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, some people will hand them a business card. Some of them will tell them about their real estate agent. But if you've got a personal brand built out there, they could do those things and also bring you into that little ecosystem. Now they start watching your stuff. And if it's this person's friend and they were your people that you got along with very well, and then now they bring their person into your circle, I know that's kind of confusing, but follow me here, then they're more likely to already like you as well, which will make the transaction smoother, and it'll also increase your chances that they will give you a call whenever the time is right for them. So the very first thing that we should do before building a personal brand, or as you're building a personal brand, is figure out what your USP is, Universal Selling Proposition. What makes you unique? What defines your strengths? What sets you apart from the other real estate agents in the market? Now, this could be something as simple as the greatest hair flipping realtor, which is a terrible example. It could be the lowest cost realtor. I hope that's not the case, but it could be. It could be we offer the best home inspections for all of our buyers and we pay for them out of our own pocket based on our preferred person. It could also be that you never let your clients go a certain amount of time without hearing from you. Even after the sale, you're going to constantly follow up and make sure that you're building clients for life. It could be the friendly realtor. It could be, there's just so many different avenues you can go down this road. But the point of this is figure out what your universal selling proposition is so that you can relay that to your ideal audience. Now, the next thing that I suggest you do for building a personal brand is build a brand identity. This is everything. This is the way your photos will look. It's what the background will look like. Your thumbnails, your business cards, just the way all of your online presence looks. It's like a brand kit, in certain aspects. It's going to be the same kind of colors you use. It's going to be the same kind of theme that you use. The brand that I use for this brand here, Mr. Mongo, is way different than I use for the Emerald Group that is my real estate team here in Florida. They're two different brands, but they each have their own because they're each going after a different avatar. So I suggest you sit down and figure out all of these things. What does your brand look like? Now, every time you do anything forward facing to the customer, to your ideal client, it should have that brand on it. It should be the same colors. It should have the same text or similar text. It should have your tagline, your photo, your same photo, preferably one that's not 30 years old for those of you guys that are still using a really old photo. But make it all look good. So this way, they see you on Facebook, they see you on Instagram, they see you on YouTube Shorts, see you on LinkedIn, all of it makes sense. They see it, they instantly know, I know that guy. That's Mongo, right? If you go to any of my stuff on the Mr. Mongo thing, which we've got a little bit of everything, we'll throw it up on the screen here. We've got the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the YouTube and all of that. If you look at it all looks roughly the same. You can go from one to another and instantly know, I recognize that picture for that brand recognition. See, we're not Nike and we're not Harley or any of those things. We're not at that level, but we can create that little miniature kind of, dare say it, a cult-like following inside of our own little niche. And so that's what the brand identity is going to help with. Now, next up is creating your brand story. What does this look like? This is what's important to you. These are the stories that you're going to tell your audience, the feelings that you're going to invoke in them in order to get them to make a decision to buy or sell with you, or make a decision to stay in your ecosystem to learn a little bit more about you if they're a little bit earlier on in the process. Not everybody's ready to buy right now. And a personal brand isn't about trying to find the people right now. This is a long-term strategy. And part of that is creating the story that you're going to give to everybody. So a great way to do this is with client testimonials and pictures and things like that. A lot of people, especially real estate agents, want to post the just sold. They don't want to put a story behind it. You know what's more engaging and creates more customers than the just listed, just sold? Do the same thing, but spin it around and turn your client into the hero. I just had a podcast interview today. I do have a podcast, Real Estate Agent Lessons with Mongo. If you guys are curious, you can go over there and check it out on wherever you find podcasts at. It's pretty new, so it's nothing too crazy right now. But I just had a podcast episode with somebody, and he said it so perfect. Paco the Realtor said, you know what? You want to create your client. You want to treat them like Batman. You want to be the Robin to their Batman. You're still a superhero. When something goes wrong, you're a hero, but you're going to make them look like the hero. It's not, well, these people were about to back out of this deal, and then I helped them go into it, and and I explained to them, no. Being the Robin means we were about to walk away from the deal, and I decided to talk to them, show them their motivation, and they decided to bring the courage to the next level and go ahead and push through because their motivation was there, and they knew that they really wanted this house, and they were just in a moment of panic. And in that moment of panic, they wanted to back away, but yet didn't. They stayed, and now they've got the home of their dreams. Now they're living on these beautiful white sands or wherever you happen to live, whatever's good about your place. The point of this is you're telling the story from them being a hero instead of you being the hero. As soon as that happens, the conversation starts changing really quickly, and it provides a lot of value to your customers because they're seeing it from a different light. Instead of me, it's, hey, this is about you. And clients who are going to do big business with you, which buying a home or selling a home with you is big business in my opinion. It's the biggest that most people do. They want to know that they're first. They want to know that their needs come above all else. Now, next up in building a personal brand is to start building your online presence. This is where most of all of your relevant content is going to go. Finding that relevant content that matches them where they are now, not where they used to be or where things think that they might be going, although that is kind of a strategy I'll talk about at some point, but really meeting them where they are now with the problems that they're having now is very helpful. And when you know your avatar and you know exactly what they're looking like, what they're struggling with, what their problems are, you can tailor the message directly to your avatar and create that extremely tight bond that bounds them to you anytime that they're ready to buy or sell or invest in real estate. And you do this primarily through online resources. So utilizing Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, I mean, the list goes, I'm sure there's a few I missed, Snapchat and a bunch of others, right? Using those to gather as much reach as possible is a helpful strategy. That's how you're going to get your message out. That's how you're going to get your content out. And I'm telling you guys, there's no easier time right now. Like, yeah, I know technically TikTok would have been good 2 years ago. Facebook would have been really good 15 years ago. Instagram would have been good a decade ago. So there's always better timing, I'm sure. But guys, you can post a video out on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and get 5,000 views like this. When I first started in real estate back in 2014, it wasn't like that. You had Facebook, you'd go Facebook Live, and 150 people would watch, and you would be like, I can't believe I have a whole stadium full of people. 150? Now you can get 5,000 views like it's nothing. The point is, building online presence right now isn't that difficult. It just requires a little bit of work, a little bit of strategy. And if you want help with any of those strategies, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ding the little bell so that you'll be notified every single time I do a new video. I am doing videos every single week trying to help you guys out, just spreading my knowledge. I'm not selling anything or doing anything like that. So if that would be helpful to you, subscribe. If not, I get it. Let's keep going. Now, the name of the game at this point is shove content out in the marketplace. Just shove it out there. Everything. Anything that you feel like you can do it. And then do it more. Okay, when we first started, we were pushing about 20 pieces of content a week through lots of different platforms, not including blogs and search engine optimization that we were building and stuff. We're still doing that on the back end. But for our social presence alone, we started with 20 pieces of content per week. That's not that difficult to do. That's 3 pieces of content per day. If you're posting on 3 pieces or 3 places, and you're reposting the same stuff, well, you've already got 21 pieces right there. And now, about a year and a half later, we are now pushing over 100 pieces of content per week. Now, of course, these are different channels, different avenues, but the entire point is we're pushing all of that content out into the marketplace to break through the noise. This is something that you're probably going to have to do. Now, I don't suggest that you try to start with 100 pieces of content per week. I do have a virtual assistant team behind me. I do have a bunch of folks that are helping me do this stuff. So it's a little bit easier in my current place right now because I'm a team leader. I've got a team. I've been doing this a while at a high level. And so it's just a little bit easier for me now. But it wasn't always. And don't get stuck on that. Well, it's easy for you to say you've got 3 people helping you, 2 people, 1 person, 15 people. I don't care what the number is. It's really easy to say that. But every single person that you know that did that had to start where they started. And it starts with you. So there's a lot of different tools out there, and I talk a lot about them on this channel. So go ahead and, as I said, subscribe if you want to, or go back and check some of those videos out to see if they'd be helpful to you. But pushing content is king. And then pushing quality content is what really makes it convert. Now that you started pushing online presence, the next best step is to start networking with other professionals. This could be inside of your field or outside of your field. For this, it's where I'm talking to real estate agents. So it's what I'm going to kind of tailor it toward. I believe you should be networking with other real estate agents and other industry professionals in general, lenders, title companies, home inspectors, anybody. And it doesn't just have to be in your local market. It could be outside of your market. You don't know who's going to be moving into it. Now, the more of these that you can have in your area that you can kind of network with in and around town, go meet them, go meet their people, go meet their sphere of influence. All of that's going to help you build that personal brand just a little bit faster because now you've got word of mouth here on the ground. And if you've got somebody, a home inspector, a lender, and they absolutely adore you and your team or just you, however you're running things, and they're pushing it out to their people, you've got a much higher likelihood that more people will find you. And if more people will find you, that personal brand is just like this constant machine, just cranking things out. People are going in, it's spitting out a sale here, a customer here, a client here. It just kind of, it's like a revolving door. It's just going to keep happening. Now, sometimes there's a lot of people inside of that little personal brand bubble just waiting to come out. They're not necessarily going to come out on an even string or anything like that, but they are going to come out consistently. It just takes a little bit of time, and you've got to continue to feed it. So networking really helps with that. Now, my favorite one on this list is this next one, providing exceptional customer experience. I say it all the time here in my office to my team, treat every client as your best and only client. If you were to do that for every single customer, how much more repeat business would you get down the road? If you just treated them like they were your best friend, like they were your mom, your dad, your cousin, literally your best friend, how much more business would you get when they go, wow, he really cared? Like, it wasn't just about how can he or she hurry up and get done with this item and push me off, and he's not calling me, and they're not contacting me, and they're not emailing me, and I have no communications. No, if you're treating them like your best and only client, or you're treating them above and beyond what you think is necessary or more than what you are paid for, then they remember that experience. And when they remember that experience, they tell their friends about that experience. Word of mouth is one of the most powerful tools that you will have in real estate, and it is wildly undervalued, at least to real estate agents. So how do we go about providing excellent customer service? There's 1.5 million ways to do this, but first and foremost, build systems so that you don't forget anything. So it could be something as simple as a reminder every 3 days when somebody's under contract to contact them for something, so you don't get busy and then a week goes by and you miss that one email and now they're irate with you because you missed a deadline. So creating systems help you stay in line so that you don't miss more deadlines or any deadlines, and then have constant communication. And then even after the deal is done, you provide great customer experience. You try to do as much for them as you possibly can within the boundaries of what your brokerage allows and all that stuff, so that this way you take off some of that stress from them. Buying and selling a home is stressful. Like, for a lot of people, it's really stressful. I know for me personally, it's not. And for some of my sellers, some of my buyers, it's really not. But for a good majority of people, it's very, very stressful. So try to take some of that. That's what we're getting paid for. We're getting paid to be problem solvers. We get paid for communication, for making contacts, and to solve problems. Those are the 3 biggest things that we do. So try to solve as many problems as you can. And when one comes up, don't freak out. Keep a cool head, because that's what you're getting paid for. Your job is to get them to the finish line based on their goals without, too many hiccups, if you can at all help it. And real estate's full of hiccups, I understand that. But being there as the hero is very important. So anytime a problem comes up, you should be already trying to fix that problem by the time you relay it to them. It shouldn't be, something happened during the inspection and, everything's going to heck in a handbasket. No, already have answers. Okay, call the inspector. What happened? Okay, what's going on here? Okay, how much is that going to cost to fix? Call a handyman. Figure it out. Okay, not that bad of a fix. Hey, so-and-so, the water heater's out, but don't worry. It's not that expensive. I just ran quotes and it's X dollars. Okay, cool. Too expensive for you? We need to pull out. Got it. But the point is, you provide the problem with a solution. And you can't do that all the time, because sometimes it just arises and they find it first. I understand that. But always try to immediately go into that problem-solving mode, because ultimately that's what we get paid the big bucks for. And then continue to build that long-term relationship even after the sale. Every single person that sells with me will get contacted by me personally every single 3 months. Now, this might be a text message, but for a lot of my people, it's a phone call, and it's just checking in on them. I'm not calling and asking about real estate every time. I was taught that early on in my career, and I couldn't stand it. You're telling me every single time I call them, I'm going to be like, hi, who do you know? Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. Oh, by the way, Rhonda, how's the kids? No, just ask Rhonda about her kids. She just bought 3 months ago, 9 months ago, 2 years ago. She doesn't need to be constantly bombarded by you. Okay, people are only selling once every 5 to 12 years, depending on which study you're looking at, but they don't need your information all the time. They don't need you hounding them all the time. That is a strategy that works for some people. It just never worked for me. So if you want to do that, go for it. Let me know if it works. It was just never effective for me. Now, here's where that whole thing comes back full circle, right? You provide an excellent customer experience. Now you give them testimonial or a review, and they rave about you. They loved it. They do a video review. They do an online review. Now you take that and push that out in your social content to increase that brand awareness. It kind of goes in this full circle, right? That's how you continue to build it, and then build social proof into your brand awareness as well. Now, once you do all of this and it's one big circle and you just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, all you have to do at this point is, well, first, continue doing it. And second, to monitor your progress and what's going on, and making sure that your message still fits with your brand and your avatar and your audience. And you do this through the review process. You do this through what they're saying to you during the deal, after the deal, before the deal. And you just overall monitor all of the online activity that is associated with your name and your brand. And as you continue to monitor it, and as your business changes, so will your content and your brand in general. So you're going to constantly reevaluate and maneuver your brand to what is working right now and what your avatar is feeling right now. And then, of course, you want to remain on top of industry trends and build them into your brand as well. And that's this big circle that just keeps going around and around. You just keep doing that. And over time, your brand is built. Now, this does take a really long time. This is not a 6-month thing. This is a long-term, down-the-road thing. In fact, kind of look at your personal branding as a long-term investment account. You know, if you pull it out in the next 2 years, it's not going to be that effective for you. But if you just hold on to it, keep pushing, in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, it will be unrecognizable, and so will your business. If you made it this far, you probably got some value out of this, so if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button before you go, I would deeply, deeply appreciate it. And I guess I will see you guys in the next one.